Good morning and welcome to Morning Coach. Today, I am so glad you're with us. Hey, it's Jimmy. Super pumped you're here for Motivational Monday, the place to get your week started right. Been putting this up on YouTube, Spotify, Google Play, and iTunes, and I hope you're having a blast with it because it is about the energy. And today, to get your week started right, we're going to talk about creativity because it's so important that we use creativity to be able to do the things we want to do because it can really change your life. I'm up here at the lake house, and I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the ability to do this, which I started about 17 years ago, and done 4,000, how many episodes? 4,658 episodes over on our traditional coaching show. It's been pretty crazy, and I had to be really creative along the way because I wrote a book when I started called Get Out of Neutral, and that book is really what started me down my path of really building a lifestyle business to do some fun stuff and have some fun stuff. And that creative principle is so important when we're out there building our life because it can bring us freedom, and that's what really I'm all about. And I want you to focus on that. If you do a little bit every day towards your goals, that 1% improvement that we teach, you will eventually get there, and that's our Get It Done Now program that we do. We've got that schedule. We've got that daily coaching that we do over at morningcoach.com because it is about the small incremental improvements and being creative that are really going to make a difference. But let's talk about creativity. Creativity allows us to solve problems more openly and with innovation, okay? So that's what you really need to understand if you're taking notes, that creativity allows us to solve problems more openly and with innovation. And why is that important? Because when we solve problems, it's this simple. Your value is going to equate to the level of the problems you solve in the current economic system. If the economic system shifts from capitalism at some point, or if you're in an area where your value cannot be expressed, that's different. I'm actually here in Indiana. That's where I do the show from, typically in Florida or Colombia, all those places, whether it's South America, the United States, in Florida or Indiana, your value can be equated to the level of the problem you solve. So when we think about this definition, creativity allows us to solve problems more openly and with more innovation. Then that allows us to increase our value in the marketplace. Whether you got a job, okay, a job, that's okay, there's nothing wrong with that, or you're an entrepreneur. You're going to increase your value by solving people's problems. What is this show specifically for? This show is here to help you get your week started right. That's what it's solving the problem with, to give you some energy, give you some ideas and some thoughts that you can go about and take your week on. So that's what it solves the problem. And Morning Coach inherently has always solved the problem of giving people energy every single day. That's what I've done going on 17 years. We've started everybody's day with energy and given them a good morning routine to get started. So understanding the problems that you're solving and then being creative in that problem solving situation is really going to make a difference. Now, when I started, right, nobody was doing it. Morning Coach was top 25 in the world. The reason it was because I was a big fish in a very small pond. Now the pond's gotten so big, I'm kind of a small fish, but I don't mind because I like putting that energy out there and it still solves the problem, even though, there's been a million copycats and people that are doing similar things. And that's what happens whenever you have success and you go out there and do that. That doesn't dissuade me from continuing to put a message out there and do the things that I'm doing. So we want to solve problems, okay? Creativity, a couple other things. Creativity helps create a longer life. The researchers study that. It helps you, as we said, solve problems. Creativity helps you develop confidence. So, and we've always discussed this idea of left brain, right brain, that left brain is more the analytical. I always say get left brain buy-in because that's the intelligent side or the intellectual side, right? And then the right brain's always the creative side. Sometimes it's hard to get both of those working at the same time. A lot of people are like, I got the left brain working, but I don't have the right brain working. So I want to give you some tips today to help you get the right brain working so we can be more creative. And why would we want to do that? Why would we want to get left brain buy into this? Well, number one, because we've seen that creativity predicts a longer life. Number two, it helps us obviously solve problems. And again, your value is equated directly to the level of problems that you solve. And that's critical to understand. And number three, it helps you develop confidence. And when you do those things, obviously you're going to have a better life. And so we want to get that left, right buy-in to say, okay, I want to become more creative. So some ideas that you can do. Number one, change your routine. We are creatures of habit. We know that. We do typical things every day. And I teach routine. That's what I teach. I mean, one of the things is listen to Morning Coach every morning. Get up, get your Get It Done Now spreadsheet, worksheet taken care of. And you can grab that over at morningcoach.com. We've got a free one. And then if you join our programs, we have an interactive planner. But you get in the routine, right? And one of the things, the big things that I'm going to be doing specifically on YouTube and also within the framework of what we're working on, I became a Evernote certified expert. So we're going to be integrating Evernote into a lot of things we do. And I'm going to do some videos here. You'll see some recent ones on reoccurring tasks using Evernote. So changing your routine is something that I usually wouldn't say do, right? It's like keep your routine, get a good morning routine, get a good afternoon routine. But the truth is sometimes we need to change that up. We need to get the right brain working a little bit, and changing that routine can make a big difference. You want a real challenge? If you're right-handed and you use your mouse and your scroll pad with your right hand, try using the left hand today. Try that. Just try using your left hand. You talk about getting thrown out of a routine, right? Take a different way to work. Try some different things, and it gets your brain working differently. Okay. The other thing is you can do that really gets the right brain working is to document, journal things, and collect. And that's what I was saying with Evernote. So I am now an Evernote certified expert, working with Evernote and really understanding that at a level where they're taking input for me and my systems. They have 230 million users. We're trying to help really get that system really dialed in. And they just brought reoccurring tasks in, but I got a video coming on that. That's really cool. But we're working to get that out there. And why Evernote works so well is I used to be a user, right? And it was something that was like, okay, this is kind of cool. And then it really didn't serve any purpose. But then they brought tasks in and calendar integration in last year. I started using it more and more, and then I did a couple videos here on the YouTube channel, not on the podcast, obviously, but on the YouTube channel, and they saw what I was doing, and they said, hey, would you like to be one of our experts and help us a little bit with what we're doing, and also, discuss with your audience some of the ideas? So I said, yeah, let's look at it. And so I started diving into it more and more. I did their whole certification process, which was this in-depth study that I had to do, and I really, really liked it, right? And why am I bringing that up? Because it works in this right brain area of documenting and collecting things. And I use it for my journal, and now I'm starting to collect things, and I'm using the web clipper and the tools to really use my right brain, and it's a really cool tool. Now, I use other software too. I use Notability when I handwrite things. It's just a program that works really well on the Mac and on my iPads. But I do like Evernote a lot, okay? And I do use the e-devices still. I have my paper device right here with my notes on it. But really, documenting and journaling things has gotten so much easier with the ability to use the tools like Notability, Evernote, and these tools, and it gets your right brain working. Same thing you can do YouTube, right? Like or a podcast, and get that energy out there, actually documenting a point in time. I mean, I can go back and listen to my first 100 episodes. If I go way back and listen, right, that's a certain point in time. If I watch some of my YouTube videos from 12 years ago, there's a certain point in time. And that's kind of why I like YouTube. When I'm doing some vloggy stuff, I put my 5K run up, which was cool. I ended up winning my age bracket, ran a 22:21, much faster than I thought. I thought I'd be around 24 minutes. So it was really cool to have almost a personal best there at my age. And also document that. Put that up on YouTube. I actually put a GoPro on my chest and did the entire race. So documenting and collecting things is a good one. Forget the past and understand that starting new can actually help you be more creative. One of the things I do is I'm learning photography right now. Since I have these cameras for video, and I'm using a Sony a7S III here, I got the Sony Alpha 1, which is their flagship, can do 8K video and also do photos. And since I had all the lenses, I wanted to get that camera so I could start learning photography. So it's not too late. I'm 53 years old. I'm starting to learn it. I bought a guitar a couple years ago because I had my guitar stolen when I was 18, 19 years old, and I never played guitar again. And I'm starting to get that going a little bit. I picked up picked up golf about 9 years ago now, and I'm getting pretty good at that. So you can always become a beginner. I'm working on my pilot's license. That's a big one that a lot of people know that I'm just getting started, working through that so I can acquire an airplane. One of the things I want to do is put 100 people in my Freedom program where I teach business and residual income. And when I get to 100 people, we put 8 people in there so far, I'm going to buy an aircraft. So it's like a goal for me. But the point that I'm saying is to use the right brain, okay, is that what you want to do is you want to continually be learning new things, beginner mind. And it doesn't matter your past. If you haven't done it in the past, that's okay. You can pick up new things at any time. And that's the exciting thing about life. Beginner's mind, very important. Fourth point, you want to get around creative people. The people that you hang around are really important. We have a Discord channel with our Morning Coach community that I coach with my coach community. And the reason I put that together is because I want people to get together. You know, we're getting back to live events post-COVID, and they're really important because you can just connect with people, and it's amazing what you can do. Now, I'm somebody, I'll tell you, I like to be alone a lot. It's just I'm a writer. That's what I do. I produce a lot of content, but there are those times when you need to get around people, and if you get around creative people, it can make a big difference, okay? You want to rebel. You want to be a little bit of a rebel. I've always said that, you know, I love to rebel against the norm. Most of the coaching and teaching I do are within the system, but on the fringe of the system. You need to understand how to play the game, you know, and understand how you can get compensated and get that value that you deserve. And in order for that to happen, you've got to be able to rebel a little bit. You can't be a sheep, right? You got to be able to step out of being a sheep and be a little more creative. And you got to be able to understand that sometimes it's going to be hard to do that. You know, when you start painting, for example, if you're using your right brain to be a little more creative and you're not a good painter, it can be extremely challenging out there, right? Because it's like, oh my gosh, I'm not very good at this. But you want to make sure that when you're a beginner, you're going to suck at most things. I mean, I sucked at golf when I started, and believe me, there's times when I feel like I suck again at it. I'm not that great at guitar. I'm okay as a pilot, you know, I'm not that good yet because I'm just getting started. And having that beginner mind is really important, and understanding you're going to suck at it is going to be part of what we're doing. The other thing I would tell you, it's kind of fun to work the creative brain. It's something that I just got back into is role playing. So for 35 years, I haven't played Dungeons and Dragons, and I bought this lake house in Indiana. You're going to see the remodel on the YouTube channel. If you're listening on the podcast, you can go to YouTube.com/MorningCoach. If you're here watching, welcome. You know, you see all the stuff we're doing. But I bought this lake house in Indiana, and I found out the guys that I played Dungeons and Dragons with in the early 80s, okay, when I was in my teens, this is years and years ago, they live in my same town where the lake house is. So we have been literally getting together on Friday nights. We were up till 1 in the morning playing Dungeons and Dragons. And those role-playing games are really good because they get your creative mind moving. I would not be where I'm at today if I didn't play those things in junior high and high school, because I didn't care about school. I just didn't. It wasn't very big for me. Even though I went on to do my bachelor's, my master's, and my PhD, those things weren't important to me. I mean, school was not important to me. And I probably wouldn't have gone through graduate school if it wasn't for the reading and the role-playing that I did. So don't discredit that, especially if your children are doing it. There are a lot of opportunities to learn and grow and get that creative side going. And really, the reason I think that my coaching works and is one of the best systems out there in the world, because, you know, I came from aerospace and brought that engineering, but I also have that deep right side from the metaphysical side to the spiritual side. It all combines to really be a balanced system that allows you to have the left brain buy-in, but also have that right brain creativity. And that creates synergy, right? And that's why the coaching that we do works so well, because it's got the left brain and the right brain and allows you to combine that. And my Get It Done Now system, or my Freedom, you know, which we call Ignite, right? Ignite or Freedom, what we've done is been able to build that based on those two kind of systems so that people can build those systems individually for what they need, even though we've got a interactive planner and we've got, you know, a schedule that's 365 days a year, and I coach 365 days a year. Those things are set in to really create this structure of right brain, left brain, and being able to create that synergy that's so important. So those are some ideas on creativity that I wanted to give you today as you get your day started and the week started right. You know, you want to get with us, just go over to MorningCoach.com and you can see the programs we're doing. We got some good offers going right now, and we'd love to work with you. Otherwise, make sure if you're on YouTube, you hit that subscribe button and that like, because it helps us. Or if you're listening to the podcast, make sure you subscribe so you get all our episodes and you don't lose the things that we're doing. So I appreciate you here. The third episode here of Motivational Mondays, having some fun with this. Go have a fantastic week. I love you. You know I do. And let's go make it a great one and put some great energy out there. Okay? So go do it to it. And I'll see you next week right back here on Motivational Mondays. You watched to the end. Thank you so much for that. You're awesome. You can click subscribe for more awesome videos that we do, all kinds of different things. And then down here, you can watch the next video that comes up from our community and channel. By the way, we'd love to hear from you in the comments. What do you think about today's video? All right, thanks so much. Hit that subscribe or watch that next video.